We got another team bonding session video. So they're doing shots at a bar. And they're both, well, Cole is more drunk than MJF is, I think. And MJF says, "You're not a team player because you're not wearing the shirt." And Cole says, "Max, I got to tell you, like, I lost it. I'm sorry. Like, I'm really bad. I just misplaced it, you know." So four women walk past them, and they're all pretty nice looking. And MJF's like, he's kind of looking at them, and he's like, "Cole, you thinking what I'm thinking, buddy? 2 for me, 2 for you." And then Cole's like, "Dude," and then he's like, "No, I can get these cameras to go away." And Cole's like, "No, I love Britt, like, you know." And he's like, "Oh, okay, that's fine. I respect that. That means 4 for Daddy." And then he goes to pick up the women, and they're all into it. So they take off. Cole laughs. They come back. MJF comes back. I don't know how much time has passed, but Cole is really drunk now. And MJF's zipping up his fly, and he's like,
"Yes, because we need to know that he had sex at least once."
Yeah, and
with
then
4 women.
MJF's like, "You can't do that, dude." And then he says, I'm gonna be honest with you. No, you can't like brag about having sex with 4 women. I think was the point.
If I had sex with 4 women, I'd be bragging.
Yeah,
because that's some directing you have to do sometimes.
Yeah. Well, Cole says, "You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Max. I never lost the shirt. I was just lying. But I will put it on if you do what I want to do next." And then MJF's like, "Yeah, sure. What do you want to do?" And so he whispers in his ear. And then MJF looks at him and he goes, "Are you kidding me?" And then the next thing you see is them sitting on a couch playing video games. And I got to tell you, I love this.
I think that was in a hotel room playing video games, as a matter of fact.
Yes. And I got to tell you, I love this because it fit to the story, but it was also great promotion for the video game. And I love that. Like, I love the ingenuity of it. I love, so I heads up for this. So then they're sitting there playing video games. MJF looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. And he says, "There's no way I'm playing video games like some virgin weebo nerd." But then Cole says, "You're in the game, buddy, and you got great stats." And like MJF's like, "Oh, really?" And so they start playing, and then MJF says, I can't even say it, "I've never played a multiplayer game because I have no friends." And the way he delivered this, it was so sad. I was just laughing. And his acting was really good. And Cole looked at him and he kind of felt bad. And he says, "Hit pause, buddy." And he says, "When we were forced to be a tag team, I had every intention of blindsiding you." And MJF's like, "I was going to do the same thing." And then Cole says, "But you know what? You're pretty cool." And then MJF says, "You mean that, dude? You're cool too, man." And he says, "Let's go win those tag team belts." And then they show them winning the belts in the game. And then winners, MJF and Adam Cole, AEW record 0-0. So I was like, oh, the game doesn't even update the records when you win. It was like, and then someone explained to me, no, they only do it in story modes. I love this segment. I just absolutely adored it. I don't know why. Maybe I have a double standard, like Larry said, but it's the same show, so I don't know. But
no, this would have been I would have been with you if MJF was the TNT champion.
Okay. Except he's defending.
Yeah. I get it. I understand why you liked it, and I found it amusing. But at the same time, I'm also looking at it with the lens of, is this helping your world champion at all? And I didn't think
it's helping him avoid having to defend his belt.
Well, no, it's
which is his goal, I think.
It's clever, and it's funny, but it's one of those things where it continues MJF down this path of, he's not a guy who can carry this company. He's a guy who can get you laughs and do sitcoms and stuff, but he's not going to be. And I was thinking about this a little, and I'm gonna maybe way off base on this one. So get ready for those comments, kids. Han Solo, Indiana Jones, and James Bond were all turned into bitter husks of themselves, and then turned into weak kind of versions of themselves throughout in the last incarnations of their franchises. And I'm not saying I want complete, total toxic masculinity in my champions or anything like that. I just want to seem like I couldn't be them.
Well, I don't think I could pick up 4 women like MJF did here.
I'm funny. I probably could.
I'm not even sure if I could win the. I'm not even sure if I could win the tag team titles in
No,
the
I
video
know,
game.
I know,
Honestly,
I know, but but I'm also a product of my age, and it's one of those things where I find this more ironic than wrestling style because it's one of those things, and it's probably an age gap. I get it, and you know what people will come at me with was, well, the Bloodline had comedy in it. True. And the Sami Zayn Bloodline segment, especially the feeling oozy thing, was fantastic. But I never for a moment thought Sami Zayn was going to beat Roman Reigns once they turned on him, and that he was just going to always be this loser geek. That you know, he'd get sympathy and he would build up things. But when like wrestling news people started, well, should Sami get the big win in Canada? No.
okay. The difference between those things, I think, is a little more obvious than what you're saying. Roman Reigns has a clear goal. His goal is to retain control of this bloodline, and maybe even more importantly, to hold on to his championship.
Yes.
I have no idea what MJF's goal is.
To be disingenuous.
To
That's
fool
it.
fans, it's
always to swerve. And that's the weird thing.
But it's not really about the belt.
Yeah.
I mean, on some level it is, like he'll always go back to it, but you also brought up that, the kind of guy to carry a company. I don't even think, like, I'm not even sure if that's his role.
I don't
the last two pay-per-views, his match wasn't on top. We talked about potential matches for All Out. MJF and Cole might actually main event the show, but is that what people are buying tickets for? Is that what people are buying the pay-per-view for? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And I just it's
if Mox and Eddie wrestle on that show, that's going to be way more have way more interest than MJF and Cole, in my opinion. Some of the other matches, Joe and Punk, way more interest than
we are, but other people aren't. Like younger people, I don't think are. I think younger people like this. I do,
and that's possible. I mean, I liked it. I liked it. I was entertained by it.
The weird secret, the weird secret shame of AEW fans is they want the same kind of laughter and sports entertainment as WWE. They just want it with people they like and for a company they like.
Yeah.
I mean,
and if Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens,
because they all love singing along to Baltimore too, so it's one of those things. So,
and I love this, but there was something on the show I loved even more. Which
I just found it was a little off for me. I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll take all the beatings in the Discord.
Yeah, that's fine.
And at Twitter, that's fine.
I'm sure you're not the only one.